Hello everyone, I'm Anishu, and in this video I'll be giving a basic tutorial in the topic of inheritance and polymorphism in C#. So I'll be giving a brief introduction at first. So what is inheritance? It is a mechanism in object-oriented programming which allows a new class to be based on an existing class, inheriting all of its members and functionality. Now coming to polymorphism, the ability of an object to take any forms or multiple forms, allowing objects of different types to be treated as if they were of the same type. That is polymorphism. So why are they important? Inheritance and polymorphism both are fundamental concepts of C# and they enable code reusability, flexibility and extensibility. So what we will be learning ahead in this presentation, it will be inheritance, polymorphism and basics of using inheritance and polymorphism together. So what is inheritance? As I said before, it is a way to create a new class from existing class. That means there is basically a parent class from which a child class which inherits all of its properties, fields and method is created. In this given code, you can see there is an animal class which is the base class and it contains a method which is eat. Now you can see that there is another class which is dog and it is inheriting from the animal class using the colon. We can write it in this form. This is the syntax for writing an inherited class. Now you can see that there is a bark method in the dog class which is different from eat method in the animal class. But after you see the changes in the main class, you can see that the dog class can also call the eat method which is placed in the animal class. So how it is happening? Basically what's happening is that the dog class which is inheriting all of its properties from the animal class can also call the eat method which is basically a property of the dog class too. Now that we have completed inheritance, let's come to polymorphism. We have learned the definition of polymorphism before in the presentation. So I'll be explaining the polymorphism in details based on the given code in this presentation slide. We basically know of two different polymorphisms. The number one is method overloading or compile time polymorphism, and the second is method overriding, the runtime polymorphism. What is method overloading? As you can see in this code, in method overloading, what happens is basically there is a method which is of my same name but contains different parameters. We can differentiate between the methods based on the parameters they are given. In the given code, there is a method named age in dog class and there are two methods of the same name. But in the first age method, there is a parameter which is of int data type and it takes the date, the age of the dog. And in the main method, when I directly call age without any parameters, the second the second line is print. The second age method is basically print. If I call the age method with the parameter, then the first method is printed. Now coming to runtime polymorphism or method overriding. You can see in the given code that the base class or the animal class have a virtual method named run. Also you can see that in the inherited class, that is the dog class, there is the method of the same name run, but it is written in override form. What happens here is the run method in the dog class basically overrides the run method in the animal class whenever it is called. This is known as method overriding. The important thing that I wish to tell you about method overriding is that method overriding makes it very easy to understand the code if there are multiple child classes that are being inherited from a parent class. This makes the code much more efficient and easy to understand to different coders, and it is really easy and exciting to use method overriding. Finally, I'll conclude by summarizing what we have learned in this presentation. First of all, we learned about inheritance, which is basically a way to create a new class from an existing class. After that, we learned polymorphism, which is the ability of an object to take multiple forms. And finally, we learned how we can combine both of them to make our code more flexible and reusable. This entire presentation is really important from the perspective of doing task 7.1p of our unit, so I recommend you to watch it multiple times and also give your valuable feedback to me. I'll really appreciate it. Thank you.